or do we live on a globe Earth? Well, if we live on a flat Earth, as the sun tracks through the sky, shadows that will be left throughout the day will be circles. Pretty simple. If we live on a globe Earth, we get something a little different. At the equator, the shadow will be a straight line, and as you move towards the poles, you get a hyperbola. As you pass the Arctic circles, you get parabolas and ellipses. So, I wanted to show that that is actually what happens. And then you can go do your own experiment by sticking a stick in the ground anywhere on Earth, and every hour put a rock at the tip of the shadow on the ground. Track that throughout the day and then draw a line through that. If you get a circle, we live on a flat Earth. If you're at the equator and you get a straight line, we live on a globe Earth. And as I said, if you move closer to the poles, you'll get hyperbolas. And if you live in the Arctic circles, you'll either get an ellipse or a parabola, depending how far north or south you are. So let's see what happens. First, we'll do the flat Earth. They're all at different distances from the North Pole. This one out here is the equator. And I'll show that by showing you that it's directly overhead. No shadow, directly overhead. Now let's see what happens with the shadows. They track perfect circles. Perfect circles. The equator, you get no straight lines. You get a circle at the equator. Perfect circle at the equator. Now let's see what happens on a globe Earth. That's the equator. This is our sun. I live in Buffalo, New York. So I picked that spot. Equator first. Let's see what happens to the shadow. Tracks perfectly along in a straight line on the equator. Now, let's see what happens with the shadow. It's a little tough to do on a globe, but it works perfectly. It tracks a hyperbola line. Let's do that again. Hyperbola doesn't get a circle. And if you noticed on the flat Earth, you don't really have a straight line across for nighttime. We have this arc. So if it were day over here, it should still be day over here. But as you see, it's not. I have this set up so that it's a 24-hour day in the North Pole. But if this was the equator, then the South Pole would be somewhere out here and somewhere out here. And we all know that at the South Pole you get a 24-hour day. So let's make it a 24-hour day in the Arctic. So now you got full night at the North Pole. But it should be daytime over here in the South Pole. Well, it doesn't really. I don't know how I'm going to do that. So let's just get this North Pole just a little better. See, 24-hour North Pole, 24-hour South. No, I can't do it. But we could do a 24-hour South Pole. 24-hour daylight South Pole, 24 hours a day. Always sunny. Always nighttime. Let's take this off and just see the line of day and night here. The line of day and night is roughly a straight line, just as we observe. Just as we observe, we get a straight line of day and night. Not a curved line. This should be all daytime in here. This should be all daytime as we observe. So go out and stick a stick in the ground, and if you're at the equator, if you get a straight line, we live on a globe Earth. A little further north, you get a hyperbola. And if you live way up here, you get it in an ellipse. You can do this anywhere. Look at how it tracks. Equator. Straight line. Hyperbola. No circles. All right. Well, remember, go do your experiments.